I just wanted to do a quick update on the T-Rex 3. One of the things that I was really excited about was the specific HYROX workout, and I couldn't find much information, so let's dive in. So the HYROX workout, and what I've got here, obviously I've got the Amazfit 3 here, and I've got the Zepp app which comes with it, where all your workouts are recorded. And you can see the result of one of my HYROX sims from the weekend. And this information is available on the watch in this same breakdown and available on the app straight away. And you can sync it with Strava and with the health app on iPhone and everything else. So it comes across fantastically. But I love the fact that because the workout has been designed as a HYROX workout, it knows the stations and it knows through the time. So I'm going to take you through the end result, what you get on the app here, and then I'll show you kind of how it actually works on the watch. So you can see here we've got the calories burnt, we've got the training load, which is part of what the Zepp app kind of does. We've got the date, we've got the time, and we've got the average heart rate. We can go into this detailed view here, and then it kind of shows the overall kind of statistics there. And if we go back out there, we show the watch there, and then you can see here we've got all the stations. So we've got icons for the individual stations, and we've got the icon, and we've just got the time for the runs. And what you do is you press the button, as you'll see when we look at the buttons on the watch, when you start the run and when you end the run. So you're manually recording the run. Obviously the bit in between is then the station. So it's not recording the rock zone specifically, but it is doing obviously your 1K time and therefore the bits in between. And obviously you can take off the rocks time or whatever, but it gives you your total time and it gives you your runs. So you can see, and this is available kind of straight away, and you'll see when I actually use the watch, how easy it is, which I really like, because previously I was doing it with segments and then manually recording that data and putting it in a spreadsheet and things like that. So this is just fantastic because it's ready straight away. So we've got the heart rate, and we can zoom into any of these with a little kind of plus, and basically it spins it landscape, and you can then kind of go through that as well. We've got the heart rate zones, how much time and percentage that we spent in it. It kind of does it, as you can see here, this light, intensive, aerobic, anaerobic, and VO2 max. And then we've got aerobic and anaerobic here as to this kind of training effort. Then we've got a breakdown of the interval details. So again, we've got the individual kind of times here, and we've got the heart rate for each of those stations. And again, this won't work because it's going to go landscape, but I'll show you. So you click on the plus, and it gives you obviously a full kind of breakdown and how many calories you burnt for each one of those sections. And I'll do the same on the heart rate up here, just so you can kind of see that. So it's really nice data. You can obviously go through here and track your individual heart rate at the individual places. So it just breaks it down really, really well. Now, and you can see on here, where are we? This was the 105 one. I'm just showing you the calorie burn. This is the other one, and it marks them up as HYROX race with the times. So let me dive into the watch and show you how it actually works when you're using it. So you press the back button down the bottom here, and this opens into the workouts. Click on the workouts here, and you'll see I've got it as the top one here. But obviously you can scroll through and you can change these, really nice and easy. And there are individual settings on these. So when you go into the workout itself, now again on the HYROX one, I can select single, double, or relay. Obviously I'm going to select double. And yeah, these settings here, which you can have now, the settings are kind of generic across all of them. All of them have settings. These aren't specific settings to the HYROX workout itself. And again, we can just kind of scroll back. You can see it's really nice and fluid, really nice and easy. Big go button, and kind of the HYROX logos for the workout is they're using the sled push. So basically, we when we're about to kind of go, you know, 3, 2, 1 countdown, and we're off. So it's off now. Obviously, it would normally be recording my heart rate at this point, and you can see here it kind of makes it nice and easy in here. You've got our running time and we've got the total workout time. So you've got the running time and the total workout duration as well. We can scroll to the left or right and we can pause and finish it. If we go to the right here, we can control music. If we go down through this, we go through the individual things and back there. So it's really kind of nice from that point of view. And you can see he's showing us on the running station down here, and the next one is being the ski. Now if I wanted to trigger that, so finish my run, press this back button. This is one of the new additions they've added, that if you accidentally press that, you've got 10 seconds to kind of unpress it with that return button before it logs you onto the next one. Obviously I want that one, so that's kind of fine. I've found that the shape of the watch and the positioning, you know, with these buttons, I haven't had a single accidental press so far, which has been really good, because I used to set off the siren and all sorts on the Apple Watch Ultra. So you can see here we've got the run one, we've got the ski here. I'm moving the screen so it doesn't lock, by the way. And we've got the run two. So let's say we finished and they go, oh, let's say that was an accidental press. We can go back here and you can see transition cancelled, but then we will do it this time. So you can see the run clock starts as soon as you press it. It just gives you the opportunity to kind of ignore that. 43 seconds for the ski. And you can see then we've started the run, so we're off again. Now if I just scroll here as if we'd gone through all of the stations and then click finish, obviously it gives you your total calorie burnt, your total duration. Yeah, new HYROX world record, 1 minute 27 seconds. And you can see along the top we've got 3 little blobs for the kind of little slidey menu. So if I slide to the right, it breaks down all the times, obviously if we had them all in here, of all the times of the stations, heart and calories. It gives us a recovery time, and then again we open the app and that will give us the rest of that kind of data. So it works really, really well. The fact that it knows, you know, it's programmed in what the HYROX is, nice little icons, and being able to record that. So yeah, it's really, really nice. And just for, it's really comfortable to wear. The heart data so far is really, really good. The battery life is incredible. Coming from the Ultra, there is only one thing that it doesn't do that I used to use on the Ultra, and I'll cover that in kind of like a full review. But the weird thing is, I was expecting there to be more things. I was expecting it to be more difficult to move from the Apple Watch Ultra to this, and therefore I'd go, oh, now I know why it hasn't got a battery. You know, why the battery doesn't last as long on the Ultra. But I genuinely have no idea. It's, you know, I'm 4 days since I last charged it. It's at 70% charged. I could probably go all the way through and actually do the race in 10 days time, and it probably wouldn't run out of battery before then. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how it does it, why the battery is kind of so good. I'm really enjoying it because I get to wear it at night more and get full sleep tracking, whereas I always tended to charge my watch overnight. So yeah, but the HYROX workout, which is what we're focusing on here, really, really good, works really, really well, and really excited to use it in the race. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that because I couldn't find much information about the HYROX workout specifically. If you've got any questions, yeah, please do let me know in the comments. for years who runs marathons and stuff like that. And I didn't quite grasp this, and I think I have mentioned it before, when he first said it to me. Now I do. When people ask him, what's the best bit about running? Here he says, finishing. And, he says, I know because of the achievement and all the rest of it. He said, but when you're running, it's just hard. And again, I kind of laughed and agreed and related it to some of the stuff I do, but only having kind of done it, there were multiple points in that 10K the other week and during the runs on the HYROX sims where it's kind of like, I'm not enjoying this. I mean, obviously the last 3 runs on the last sim, it was absolute monsoon weather and I didn't enjoy that. I said to Chris, my partner, I picked an indoor sport for a reason. This was the reason. So, but yeah, there's multiple bits that are hard, but it is that achievement at the end. It is that, I did that. I was able to hold that pace or whatever. And that's what's kind of made the difference. That combined accepting that as a runner, but just being slow and steady, just doing the training and putting the miles in, the kilometers in, doing the long, slow, boring runs. Today's was a prime example of that. I've been doing more incline running over the last few weeks on one of the days, but it's been incline sprints. And I've done that last few weeks. I went, I'm not going to push that much today. But I put it on incline 11 and I put it on 6 kilometers an hour, which is basically I wouldn't even say a brisk walk, a slightly faster walk. And I did that for an hour, just to basically give the calves a good stretch, get the heart rate going, and kind of sat there at kind of zone 2, then jumped on the bike and did zone 2 at that. Now all that's just been conditioning my legs, just been getting them kind of working, used to doing, because it was 100 minutes of non-stop exercise. With HYROX, doesn't matter how you split the stations up, whether you're singles, doubles, you're basically doing 60 to 70 minutes, hopefully, if we get a good time, of non-stop exercise. Yeah, there's some little rests in there, but you're not kind of sitting down and having a massage rest. You are, farmers, you're moving, burpees, you're moving. It's only really the ski and the row and the wall balls where you're kind of stood still. But then those gaps are so short. So yeah, it was just about, again, slow and steady, just kind of putting the pace in and just doing that. And that's been one of the hardest things, but the biggest improvement. They're boring, dull, long runs on a treadmill, but I can see how much they've got me faster and got me readier for this race, and got me to a point that I didn't think was possible. There was only a few months ago, I thought, God, if we could get 1:15, maybe 1:12, and then we got a 1:12, and it's like, oh, I wonder. So it's just been that slow progression, because, and I've got all the times, if I look back at some of the sled push times, sled pull times, ski, row, none of those have really kind of changed. More efficient at them and might be a bit faster, and obviously there's a little bit of time everywhere. But the massive thing that's changed is being able to go from, and I remember one of the first sims, one of the slower sim I did last weekend, we're doing 6-minute kilometers. Well, I did a 4:04. So that's where that time time difference comes in, is that I've got that much better at the runs, that it's given me the confidence going into this, but it's given me that speed by doing the hard stuff, doing the long stuff. Now, in terms of technique and things like that, I'm not going to delve into that, because I've just watched videos and read stuff to try and find out and make myself a better runner. But yeah, the key things is some of that running stance, looking forward, kind of upright, loose shoulders, moving the arms, getting the rhythm. That's one of the big things. And the footwear. It makes a massive difference running in a good pair of running shoes as opposed to the completely wrong shoes where I started, but just an average pair. You're just an ordinary pair of trainers. They give you that support, they give you that bounce, and they allow you to get kind of into that rhythm, which is going to be very important. When it comes to HYROX, you've got to have a shoe that, and I think I mentioned this earlier on, You've got to have a shoe that gives you that confidence in the runs, but also gives you the grip and the stability you need for lunges, for the sled pull and things like that, because you've got to do both in that. And you could have amazing running shoes that just don't work for that. And that was one of the pairs that I first tried. It's just, they're much better for heavier runners, and I just couldn't get enough grip and everything else. Great for the runs, they were super kind of, you know, light, and get the feedback and the running and the bounce it gave me. But trying to do lunges and things like that on there, I was all over the place because I just couldn't get the stability. So it does make a difference getting those little bits right, making sure if you need a wide toe box, if that's more comfortable. So it's getting those things kind of right. But yeah, the tortoise way, doing the slow stuff, and slowly pushing yourself. Because again, I could have sat at even slower, but it was each time I saw my speed increase a little bit. Next time we did a long run, I went, okay, well, I'm just going to dial that up a little bit. So I'm still not going kind of flat out. I know I want to be at this speed, but I get to that speed by doing the long stuff. The long stuff slower. At 50, and again, one of the things I looked up at, between 55 and 80% of the speed you want to run at. That's what you want to do your long run stuff at, and doing that zone 2 and just steady stuff. So yeah, running is a huge part. I've rabbited on a little bit, but this is coming from someone who was not a runner. I will loosely maybe call myself a runner now. And on the Saturday in between the two HYROXs, so we've got the HYROX Friday morning, and then Sunday afternoon at 9 o'clock on the Saturday morning, I'm doing my first park run. So whether that officially makes me a runner once I've done a park run in between two HYROXs, who knows? But yeah, it's been a long journey getting here. And one actually thing that I will throw in at the end, and this was something that I haven't experienced directly, but I certainly have indirectly, and I've seen some of the other people I train with. But this is one of those things, and I haven't mentioned this on any of the other stations specifically, but running is one of the areas where weight makes a difference. Now again, some of the very best HYROXs, 98, 100 kilos, whatever. So it's about where you are. But I think part of my view of myself as not being a runner is I hadn't run for years, haven't needed to. And of course, my brain was still accustomed to being 25 kilos heavier than I now am. And I know from some of the other people I'm training, there was one guy there in particular that over a short period of time, he dropped, I think it was 5 or 6 kilos while he was doing more running. And he said he could feel the difference, of doing that. And I did do some of my early runs with a 10K weight vest on, just to try and, kickstart getting everything kind of moving and work the muscles. But obviously where I am now, which is around 73.5, 74 kilos, which is pretty much where I've been all this year. I haven't really deviated around that weight. So all my running has been at that weight. So, but that does make a difference. If you can, it's one of those areas, if you are struggling, obviously you've got to keep the muscle, you've got to keep the strength and all the rest of it. But, if you think of it pure mechanically and logically, if you're running around with one shopping bag or with 2 shopping bags, it's going to be easier with one. So again, having less weight on, I think, is one of those things that's also helped me, because you're literally just carrying less weight around. So that's just a little extra point at the end there. Anyway, I hope that's been useful. Hope these videos have been useful. Going through the individual stations, not from someone that's been, as I've said before, looks like they were born and sculpted in a gym, by an average guy who's lost weight over the last couple of years, started this training, been on this training journey. As I'm recording this video today, there are 10 days until I do my first HYROX, which makes it 12 days till I do my second HYROX, and then there'll be a gap of about 5 weeks until my third HYROX. And next week I'll be announcing something exceptionally exciting for 2025, and this is for any of you that have happened to have got this long into the video. I'm not going to give away everything, but that will be HYROXs 1, 2 and 3. And not counting any of the simulations at this point. But next year, 2025, I'm putting together something for charity, which is going to be a little bit crazy. And if I can pull it off, we'll see me possibly doing 100 HYROXs. So not 100 days to HYROX, but 100 days of HYROX. So watch this space if you're interested to see what that's all about, and when I announce that hopefully next week, prior to my very first HYROX, which is now only 10 days away. So until the next time, bye for now.